Today we begin our fall series, The Many Hats of Mary Magdalene. And I just want to make a note that during our last series, which was Getting into Good Trouble with Jesus, one of the things we had promised was to engage in the spiritual exercises or the spiritual practices of Jesus. Those things he did before he went out and got in good trouble. And they were noticeably absent in our series. And there's a reason for that, because they were noticeably absent in the Gospels. They are fully present in the fall series. The Many Hats of Mary Magdalene includes many spiritual practices. But before we get into them, I'm really curious to know what you know about Mary Magdalene, who in this series I sometimes am abbreviating to Mary M. What do you know about Mary Magdalene? Do you know her as Mary of Magdala? Perhaps you refer to her as Miriam? What about the apostle of the apostles, or the beloved of Jesus? Perhaps you know her as that party-crashing woman, the drama queen with the alabaster jar who shows up with and wastes, according to some, the expensive ointment by rubbing it on Jesus's feet. Perhaps you know her as the first person to witness the resurrection. You know, there are so many different ways to know about Mary Magdalene, and in a way, she's a lot like us. Over the course of time, she has worn a lot of different hats. And some of the hats that Mary has worn, the cat's on the table rocking the camera, so it's not an earthquake, it's a catquake. Some of the hats that Mary has worn over the course of time fit her quite well, and others don't fit her very well at all. Some of the hats Mary chose for herself, others were chosen for her. Some were appropriate, others were just totally inappropriate. As we journey through this series, we will look at these hats. We will look at the ones which fit, the ones that didn't fit. We will look at the ones that are appropriate, the ones that are inappropriate. And the overall goal will be to decide for ourselves which hat fits Mary best. This series is based upon teachings of Episcopalian priest and mystic Cynthia Bourgeault. Readings from the Gospel of Mary, translated by Jean-Yves Leloup. Special music led by Hakika Lin, which was created especially for the Dances of Universal Peace. And this music is about Mary. And this series will also include the image of hats.